recording. Okay, properties. Okay. Generally, so far we worked with the different things which are associated with a class. Properties also
Okay.
one of the member of a class. Members of a class, which is used to transfer a data from one layer to another layer. Okay. By using properties, we can read, write the data. Okay, either we can read the data, either we can write the data. So generally, whenever we are considering a classes, so class contains some data members, right? So by using data member, we can assign something. But here, what we are going to do is, by using our properties, we can transfer our data from one layer to another layer. Layer in the sense, generally we are dealing with like business objects layer, data access layer, okay, UI layer, that is nothing but presentation layer. Okay, layered approach plays vital role in our real-time implementations, which is which is as different with an architecture of a project. But basically, every project by default supports some kind of layered implementation. If you want
Okay.
to transfer a data from one page to another page, I mean to say layer, so I will say it as a ground level implementation. If you want to transfer a data from one layer to another layer or one page to another page, then properties plays vital role in that place. Okay, so generally, in order to get an information to the properties, we can make use of set as an accessor. In order to assign that value or in order to return that value, we are using get as an accessor. Okay, by using this, we can read the data and we can write the data. Okay, both the things we can do. So sometimes if you want to restrict to read the data, then we can provide some restrictions on our properties. Sometimes if you wish to do writing operations, we can achieve that also with the help of our properties. Okay. So generally, which is as similar to a variable, but it is not an like pure full-fledged variable. Means it holds some data like a variable. Okay. Generally, what we can achieve other than this means we can perform our own computations with the properties. Okay. Simply we can get the data, other properties also. Means say for example, consider like we have two properties A and B. Okay, we are assigning some value to the A, that value is negative value. So generally if it is a negative value, we can we can make it to 0. If it is non-negative value, we can make it as a as usual number whatever the user is passing. Because generally with normal variables we can't achieve these things. Okay, whatever user is entering, we just read the data and we will just represent to the end user. But whereas in properties, we can write our own condition. If it is a non-negative, then we can display the as usual value. If it is a negative, then we will display, we can make it as a, that value as a 0. Like that we can make our own computations. Computations is nothing but calculations, whatever we required, or whatever the things that we can achieve with that property, that we can do with the help of our properties. Apart from this, this is also one of the things that we can achieve with properties. And one more thing is, generally I have two properties if my first property is filled with data, if I want to get that value to the second property also, we can do that thing. Okay, sometimes in real-time programming, in order to fill our existing properties, sometimes we may depend on the existing values. Okay, existing value means suppose I have two properties, my second value is always depend on my first value. So then in that scenario, so this property also used. So by depending on by based on the first value, we can check whether that value is okay, or so now whether that value is filled or not. All those things we can check. Okay, let us see how we will work with properties practically so that we can get to understand more on properties. Now, so generally, properties contains two accessors. That is get, okay, and other is set, okay, two accessors. So get is nothing but which is used to return a value to the end user, to the end user. Set is used to assign a value to the existing property. Okay. So properties are divided into three types. They are read property, write property, and third is read and write property. Read property, write property, read and property. So read means here we can only read the data. Read the data. Write means here we have a provision to write the data. Read and write. Here we can achieve both read and write operations. Here we can achieve both read and write operations. Okay. These are the three things. I will show you like syntax for a property. Syntax, just we can declare a normal variable. So normal variable can access modifier, data type, space variable name. Okay, now syntax for a properties, here also access modifier, data type, property name, suppose set. If you want to assign some value, so we are assigning like this. So variable name equal to some value, and get return variable name. So you can understand from this program stating that here we are using two accessors. Okay, we can call this as an accessor, set as an accessor, get as an accessor. So generally, whenever we are using set means nothing but we are assigning some value, means nothing but we are reading some value. So whenever we are using get means we are writing some value to the end user. If both and set are there in our property, then it which indicates that which is an read and write property. Okay, if both are available. Suppose if only set is there, then we can say that it is an read property. If only get is there, then we can say that it is only write property. Okay, if both are there, then we can say this is a read and write property. Okay, so as per this, we can restrict our variables, whether it may be a writable variable or whether it may be a readable variable, or whether it possesses both read and write operations, that we can decide. Okay, so now
Okay.
let me show you like how we will work with the properties. So just I open my Visual Studio. I want to add a new class for this properties. I will provide a name as properties example for this class. So just I give a name for my classes, my properties. Okay. Just I want to declare two variables, int a, b, usually. Okay. So now this is normal variable declaration. Now I am going to show how a property declaration would be, like PA. So a equal to value, next I can use get return a. So like this I'm using. Similarly, I want to fill the value for the b also. Public int pb. B equal to value. Okay. So next get return b. In this way I declared my properties. Okay, one is my PA property and other is nothing but PB property. Now I want to pass some data to these things. Okay, generally first I want to create an object for my properties. New my properties. Obj dot, say I pass obj dot PA equal to 10. Okay, obj dot PB equal to 20. Value of PA is obj dot PA, and similar value of PB is obj dot PB. Now console dot readly. So just I want to set my startup object for properties exe. Now I'm going to run this program. Just see, value of Pi is 20, value of Pb is certainly it is giving us 0. Okay, why it is giving us 0? See, here I am giving value of Pi is 20, value here I am giving obj.pi equal to 10, obj.pi equal to 20. So, but here it gives a value as value of Pi is 20, value of Pb is 0. Here what you have to observe is, here I assign a values for a PA only two times. First time I assign 10 and next time I assign 20. Okay. Whatever the latest value means, first value is always overridden with the latest value. That's the reason for PA it comes as 20. For PB we didn't pass anything. That's the reason for PB it won't come anything. Okay, means nothing but it will take the default value. So that's the way we can work with. So now I'm going to extend my example. Please observe this. Now I'm using ob.pi equal to 10, ob.pb equal to 10. So now you will get the values as 10 and 20 which is expected. Now here I'm implementing some condition. If a less than or equal to 10, if a less than or equal to 10, then a equal to a plus 1. Okay, else a equal to value. See, here I applied one kind of logic. If a value is less than or equal to 10, I want to print a equal to a plus 1. Suppose if you pass 10, you will get output as 11. Like that I provide some condition. Just I'm executing this program. See, value of PI is 1. Here I pass 10 as an initial value. Let us check. A less than or equal to 10. So now I'm going to execute this thing, so you will get to understand how values are going to assign for this. Okay, now I'm going to assign. So program comes to here and now it will comes to here. A less than or equal to 10. Okay, so now you are getting a value as 0 because you are not assigning any value to a, it becomes 0, so that a equal to a plus 1, now it will come as 1. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm changing my program. So say for example public int a. Okay, I don't want to pass some values to PA PB. Okay, instead of that just I'm passing value to obj dot a equal to 10. Now you can execute your program. Now you can check this program. See, value of pi is, you will get the value of pi is 10, right? So now suppose a equal to 10. Now I'm checking obj dot pi equal to, say for example, 0. Let us execute this one. When you are assigning some value to the PA, first it will check for a value. What is a value? Here a we are passing 10 as a value, right? So if a less than or equal to 10, then what we have to print? A equal to a plus 1. So now what is the PA value? Now PA value becomes 11. Okay, because here whatever the value that is passing to the A, that we are depending and that we are using here. In such a way, we are maintaining some computations, whatever it is required. Okay, say for example, here I am taking PB, obj dot PB equal to 23. Now your PB value will be displayed as 23. Now what I am trying to do is, I just commented this set part. I just commented this set part. Just I am going to execute this program. Now you can see, you will find some error. What is that error is, set is nothing but you are assigning some value, right? You restricted to assign some value because this will treat it as an read only property where you cannot assign data to the PB value, but whereas here you are trying to assign some value. So understand the error. So my properties at PB cannot be assigned to, it is a read only property. Here we are just reading the data, not at all writing the data. So now B equal to value. B equal to value means we are something we are going to assign, but that will be restricted if you are using set as a comment. Okay, that's the reason where you won't pass any data. So whatever the data, suppose if we are using obj dot b equal to 15, now whatever the data that is available for b, that will be result as an output for this pb. Why? Because get return b, whatever the value with b, that value will be returned here. Okay, so this means we are restricting, it is a read only property. Okay, suppose if you don't want to return a value, okay, then you can, so I want to take one more thing, one more property, that is public int pc. So here I have a provision to assign some data set. Suppose I want to take c as a variable, set, sorry, already set is there, no, c equal to value. Okay, so now I'm trying to assign some value to PC equal to, okay, 356 for example. So now when I'm using value of PC equal to PC, okay, just when I'm trying to execute this program, it provides an error. Okay, error is nothing but cannot be used in this context because it lacks the get accessor. There is no get accessor. If there is get accessor only, then you can display that value, otherwise you won't display the value. Okay, now how can you know what is the value of PC? Then you can check obj dot c. Okay, now you are trying to execute this program. So value of PC is 356, means you are returning that value to the B itself, sorry, to the C itself. So here for C, whatever the value that you are passing to PC, that value will be returned to the C itself. So in this way, so here we can achieve with the help of computations with the by using set and get accessor. Here we can achieve with get accessor. Here we can achieve with set accessor. If there is no set accessor, then we can say this is a read-only property. There is no get accessor, we can say this is an only write-only property. If both are available, then we can say read and write properties are available here. In this way, we can make use of properties. We can apply some conditions internally like this, whatever you want, and will display the output to the end user. That is the use of a properties. By using an object of a class, we can access our properties anywhere in the other programs also. Okay, so that I can say it is used to transport the data from one layer to another layer. Suppose if I create an object, my properties ex in static ex here constructor ex anywhere, we can get, by using this object we can access and we can pass the data wherever we want. Okay, in this way we can make use of properties. Any queries on this?
No.
Okay. Now next properties, partial classes and methods. So here a partial class, partial is one of the keyword which is available in C#, which indicates that part of a portion is implemented at one place, the rest of the thing is implemented in another place. See how we will work with the partial means. Say for example, if we have a same namespace, we are dealing with same namespace, right? Oops, oops, like that we are dealing with same namespace. I already told you that in same namespace, same classes are not allowed. Suppose if I create properties again one more class, it gives an error that stating that already my properties class is already been declared. In such a way, we can't
Okay.
declare duplicate classes, means same classes within the same namespace. We can give different name for each and every class. Okay, that we already discussed in earlier
Okay.
sessions. Now, we're coming to the partial implementation. Partial is nothing but part of implementation is there in one place and rest of the implementation will be there in another place. Generally, whenever we are using a partial keyword to a class, means in same namespace we can work with same classes whenever we are using a partial class. So far it is an error. Now when you use partial as a keyword for that class, we can create same class with multiple names with multiple times within the same namespace. Indicates that whenever if you are working, like if two or more developers are working in the same project, okay, so that module, you may access that module or somebody may access your module. In that scenarios, we create one partial class. Your means your implementation is required for them, their implementation is required for you. At these scenarios, you simply create an object. By using that object, we can get to know that methods and what are the things that are available is there. Okay, so now when we declare a class as a partial, then it indicates that it will allow users to implement same class name within the same namespace. Partial classes allows us to do parallel programming if more than one resource is working on the same project. We can mark a class as a partial in these instances. See, suppose we like more than one person is working on same project, so they want to do some like A person do different functionality, B person has to do different functionality, but both functionalities are dependent on each other. So at that point of time, we create a partial classes. Whenever we created a partial class, whatever A person is created, that methods are accessible for B, and whatever the B person is created, that methods are accessible to A. In such a way, they can share their method implementation and they can work with each other with the help of a partial classes. Okay, so far there is a restriction. We won't create an like same class names within the namespace, but that restriction will be overcome with the help of a partial keyword. Okay, we will see that thing practically. Say for example, I want to create one class here itself. So I want to give my name as my properties, my class name as my properties. Now just I'm going to run this program. See, what is the output of this program? It provides an error stating that the namespace oops already contains a definition of my properties. Okay, oops is nothing but your namespace, which is telling that in oops namespace already my properties has some definition. So means it does not allow the same class here in this instance, right? So that is the error. This type of errors we can overcome with the help of partial classes. Now just I want to create one more class named as partial example. So in that we can see how we will work with partial class. Partial exe. So just I want to create a main method here. If you want to create a partial class, just use partial as a keyword. Class, you can give the class name. Okay, I give a name as my project. Okay, now just I want to uh, implement one functionality that is nothing but reverse of a number. Okay, just if user is passing one input, I want to reverse that number. Okay, so just for that int number, just user is trying to pass some value in number. Okay, just for time being, just I returned a 0 because otherwise it gives an error for us. Okay, so now I want to declare a few variables. Int rem equal to 0, r1 equal to 0, r2 equal to 0. Okay, so now I would like to take while loop. Okay, so setting that number not equal to 0, I'll check this condition. If number is not equal to 0, then only I can reverse a number, right? So that rem equal to number percentile 10. So for example, so before going to that, we just work out on this logic. So for example, I pass 1, 2, 3 as an input, just I record output as 3, 2, 1. Okay, so means first I will split this number and then I'll split this number. Next I can split this number, like that I want to present an output. So generally I want 1, 2, 3 is my value. I want 3 as an output. How can we achieve? Generally in mathematical, so just forget about programming. In mathematical, how can we achieve? See, 123 divided by 10 is nothing but 12.3. Can we achieve with this? No, we can't achieve. Isn't it? I require 3 as an output, but it gives 12.3 as an output. So 123 percentile 10. Okay, percentile is nothing but, so generally after your computation, whatever the value that is available as a remainder, that is nothing but your percentile. So now I will get a output as a 3, right? See, 123 percentile 10 is nothing but whatever the remainder value for this, for divided by operation, that remainder value will becomes as your output, means 3 is coming. So for this reason I am doing this operation percentile. So number rem equal to number divided by 10. Now I would like to consider one value, that is nothing but r1. Okay, r1 equal to r1 plus, so remainder into, so just I want to make it to 10. See, Now R1 value is becomes 3 into 10, nothing but 3 into 10 equal to 30, right? So generally again I have a 12 as a value, so 12 percentile 10, now I got an output as 2, right? So now I want to list 30 plus 2 into 10. I mean, how much? Hello?
Yeah.
Are you following me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So 30 plus 2 into 10. So now how much your value? So 50.
42.
So 30
Yeah,
plus 2,
42.
30 means 2 into 10 means I made some this operation like into 2. So
Right.
means it is 50. So generally by this
Yeah.
can we achieve or not, we can check this. So RE reverse of number RN into 10 plus remainder. So just I want to do the same thing. So now number, I want to divide my number equal to number divided by 10. So now what are the value that is there for R1 is nothing but your reverse of a number. I implemented one method, that method name is reverse of a number. So just I want to create an object for this value, for this for this class obj equal to new my project. Now obj dot reverse of a number, just I'm calling this method. So just I passed output as 123. So now I want to check what was the output. Console dot write line reverse of a number is, I want to start make a startup of this program, partial ex. Where was it? Oh. Now I'm trying to execute this program. So you will get an output as 323. Suppose if you pass 456 as an input, then it will give some other different value. So instead of making this as a static, so just I want to ask user to pass some value. Console.writeline, please enter a number. Please enter a number. Okay. So now what we are going to do is, so just we are assigning this number equal to converted dot 2 int 32 of console dot readline. So just for this number I'm passing reverse of is like this you are checking. So for this we removed plus. Now we'll check. I passed 456 as an input, so it will give 654, right? So if I
Right.
729, so it will give 927. Like this we can reverse a number. Okay, you cleared with this one. See here I created one class. My class name is my project. So in such a way I make my implementation. Now what I'm going to do is, here we have some properties example, right? In here also I want to create one class. Okay, so that is nothing but partial class. Partial class, I want to give the name as my project for this class. My project
Hmm.
public void get day. So just I'm running today, that is so just I'm printing this one. Okay, so actually if it is a non-partial class, it won't allow us to do the programming. Because of this is a partial class, I have a provision to create a same class name in different in the same namespace itself. This is a my project, and as well as here also I have a my project. Okay, now what I'm doing is just I create an object for my project, right? So whenever I'm using my object, so I get one more method that is nothing but get a day method. Get a day is available in where? In properties exe. Even though that is available in property exe, we can access here. So now I'm going to execute this program. So 234. Today date is 26/05/2017. Like that we are getting an output, right? Which means that whenever you declare a partial class, if more than one program is working on the same project, if we wish to do the different kinds of implementation, if that implementations are dependent on each other, so you can create a class name as a same class name with the help of a partial keyword. By using that, we can access the members anywhere here in this program or in properties exe also. We can create an object for that my project, and we can access here also. Okay, in this way we can do our implementations with the help of my project. So for here I want to create an object here also. You can check here my project, my obj equal to new my project. So just my obj dot my obj dot. So I'm going to give reverse of a number. Suppose I give 541 as the reverse of a number. My obj dot, we have one more method that is nothing but get day. If I want to set a startup object to properties exe. See value of p for properties output up to here. Now, so value of PC is today date is 26. So I didn't get an output for reverse of a given number. Okay, because of we have to write a console statement for reverse of a given number, right? Reverse of a number is plus. So just I want to use this. Reverse of a number is 145. Just I passed 541 and it is 145, and today's date is get date. So we'll get some date. So in this way, when you declare a class as a partial, then we can access that class anywhere in the program. The methods which are associated with a partial class, we can call those methods as a partial methods. Means partly we can use here and partly we can use in some other program. Okay, this is about your partial classes and partial methods. Any queries? Hello?
Yeah, this is good. It's fine.
Okay. Okay, that's it for
So we
today.
finished OOP or
No,
we have more, right?
we are left with delegates and events. Sealed classes and sealed methods, delegates and events. We did this thing.
Right.
So static variables and method overload, these things we did now. So we are left with these things, and then
So
we'll
one more
jump.
class, right?
Oh yeah, one more class.
Okay.
Okay.
So on the weekend